Hey Bougie click. We often hear that love is all about chemistry and compatibility, but what if your environment plays an even bigger role than you think? Imagine how the places you frequent and the people you surround yourself with can shape your romantic destiny. Today, we'll uncover why proximity might just be the ultimate matchmaker and how being in the right places can open doors to the relationships you've always wanted. If you're curious about how your environment is influencing your romantic choices, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any future insights. Let's get into it.
I'ma make you a fan.
The power of proximity, the surprising way your environment influences your love life. Love isn't just about chemistry, compatibility, or cosmic alignment. It's about proximity. You fall for the person who's in your orbit, at your job, in your neighborhood, on your bus route. And when your orbit is limited, so are your options. If you're trying to date a rich man, proximity isn't optional, it's the entire strategy. You can't manifest a millionaire from your couch. You can't flirt with a yacht owner from the clearance aisle at Target. And you definitely can't build chemistry with someone you never meet. This isn't about gold digging, it's about alignment, access, and intentional positioning. If you want to date a man with money, you need to be where the money is. Proximity is the real matchmaker. Forget dating apps and long-distance fantasies. The majority of relationships still form the old-fashioned way, through proximity. You meet someone at work, at school, at the gym, or through mutual friends. Why? Because access breeds opportunity. You can only choose from the pool you're swimming in. And if your pool is shallow, don't expect to find deep love. Beauty doesn't override geography. Beauty is not a passport. A stunning woman in a remote village or struggling city doesn't magically attract high-value partners from across the globe. She attracts who's around her. And if what's around her is limited, so are her dating outcomes. That's why you'll see breathtaking women from underdeveloped countries ending up with men who wouldn't get a second glance in their own hometowns. These men, often dubbed passport bros, aren't winning because of charm or character. They're winning because they showed up. They had the money to travel. They had the proximity advantage. If she could leave, she would. Let's be clear, this isn't about love conquering all. It's about logistics. If those same women had the financial freedom to travel, to study abroad, to live in global cities, they'd have access to a completely different dating pool. They'd be choosing from men with ambition, education, emotional intelligence, and yes, looks. But when your world is small, your choices shrink with it. It's not that these women are choosing the men who show up. It's that they don't have the luxury of choosing at all. The illusion of preference. Some people love to spin this as traditional values or foreign women are more submissive. No. What you're seeing is survival. What looks like preference is often just proximity dressed up in a pretty narrative. When you're surrounded by limited options, you make the best of what's available. That's not romance. That's resource management. Money moves the map. The moment a woman gains financial independence, her dating geography expands. She's no longer confined to her hometown or her country. She can travel, relocate, network, and date on her own terms. Suddenly, she's not just choosing from who's around, she's choosing from who's worthy. And that's when the game changes. Pretty isn't the problem, poverty is. Most women aren't lacking in beauty, they're lacking in access. In a world where beauty is currency, too many women are walking around with million-dollar faces and zero capital to cash in. The issue isn't their looks. It's their zip code, their passport, and their bank account. Beauty, like talent, needs a stage. And if you're stuck in a place where the lights are dim and the audience is blind, your glow will go unnoticed. That's why women from underdeveloped countries, who are objectively stunning, end up with men who wouldn't get a second glance in their own hometowns. Enter the Passport Brothers. These men aren't winning because they're exceptional. They're winning because they're mobile. They have the means to go where beauty is abundant, but opportunity is scarce. The Passport Bro Pipeline, when beauty has no exit strategy. Let's call it what it is: economic entrapment. A beautiful woman in a struggling country is often boxed in by limited options. She's not choosing the balding, middle-aged man with a superiority complex because she's into dad bods and outdated slang. She's choosing him because he has a plane ticket, a visa, and a way out. If these same women had the resources to travel, to explore, to network in cities where their beauty could be leveraged into modeling contracts, brand deals, or high-value relationships, they wouldn't be settling. They'd be selecting. But when your environment doesn't match your potential, you either stay stuck or you take what's available. And what's available is often mediocre men with inflated egos and expired passports. Marilyn Monroe, the blueprint for escaping pretty poverty. Before she was the blonde bombshell, Marilyn Monroe was Norma Jean Mortensen, a girl born into chaos. She spent her childhood bouncing between foster homes and orphanages in Los Angeles. Her mother was mentally ill. Her father? Unknown. She was sexually abused, emotionally neglected, and married off at 16 just to escape the system. But here's the kicker: even in poverty, her beauty was undeniable. What changed her life wasn't just her looks, it was access. A job at a munitions factory during World War II led to a chance encounter with a photographer. That photo launched her modeling career, which led to acting, which led to icon status. Marilyn didn't become beautiful, she became visible. Her environment changed, and suddenly, so did her options. Had she stayed in obscurity, she might have popped out a few kids and faded into the background like millions of other beautiful women who never got their shot. But she got out. And that made all the difference. Beauty needs a platform. Marilyn Monroe didn't become a global icon because she was beautiful. She became one because someone saw her, invested in her, and gave her a platform. Had she stayed married to James Dougherty, she likely would have lived and died in obscurity, a beautiful woman stuck in a small life. Her story proves the point: beauty without mobility is a cage. It's not enough to be pretty, you have to be seen. And to be seen, you often have to escape. Pretty privilege is real, but it's geographically limited. Pretty privilege isn't universal. It's conditional. A gorgeous woman in a rural village might be treated like a commodity. That same woman in Paris, New York, or Dubai. She's a muse, a model, a mogul in the making. The difference isn't her, it's the environment. Beauty needs visibility. It needs proximity to power, wealth, and opportunity. That's why the same face that gets ignored in a dusty town becomes a passport to luxury in a global city. When women relocate, they recalibrate their worth. They stop being just another pretty face and start being the main event. Broke beauty is a global tragedy. Let's stop pretending that beauty alone is enough. It's not. It needs strategy, exposure, and yes, money. The real tragedy isn't that some women aren't beautiful. It's that their beauty is trapped in places where it can't thrive. Where it's undervalued, exploited, or ignored. So, the next time someone says, "She's too pretty to be with him," remember she probably is. But until she has the resources to choose differently, she'll keep choosing what's available. Not what's ideal. Location is leverage. Wealthy men don't just hang out anywhere. They frequent specific environments: private clubs, luxury gyms, high-end restaurants, charity galas, golf courses, and exclusive networking events. If you're not in those spaces, you're invisible to them. It's not that you're not worthy, it's that you're not present. You can't date a man who doesn't know you exist. You can't build rapport through a screen or a fantasy. You can't attract what you're not around long enough to influence. Proximity is power. It's not just about being seen, it's about being remembered. Digital access is not a substitute for physical presence. Yes, rich men are on apps. But the ones who are serious about relationships aren't swiping for soulmates, they're networking, vetting, or entertaining themselves. If you want to be more than a profile picture, you need to be in the room. In-person presence communicates confidence, lifestyle alignment, and social proof. It says, I belong here, not I'm hoping to be chosen. A DM can be ignored. A woman who walks into the same room? Not so much. Physical proximity allows for organic connection, shared glances, casual conversation, real-time chemistry. Being in the same environment signals shared values, lifestyle compatibility, and mutual access. Wealthy men date within their ecosystem. Let's be blunt, rich men don't usually date outside their social tier unless there's a compelling reason. And that reason is rarely found in isolation. They date women they meet through mutual friends, business circles, or elite social settings. If you're not in their ecosystem, you're not in their dating pool. They marry who they see regularly. They build trust with who they interact with consistently. They invest in who feels familiar, not foreign. You don't need to be rich to date rich, but you do need to be relevant in their world. Proximity builds familiarity, and familiarity breeds opportunity. You don't need to force anything. Just being around consistently creates space for connection. Familiarity lowers defenses. It makes you memorable. It builds rapport without trying too hard. That's how relationships start, not through grand gestures, but through repeated exposure. The woman he sees every week at the same cafe becomes more intriguing than the one who messages once and disappears. The woman who volunteers at the same charity event becomes more trustworthy than the one who only shows up for the photo op. The woman who's always in the room becomes the one he starts to look for. Stop waiting to be discovered, start strategically showing up. If you're serious about dating a man with means, you need to be strategic about your geography. That doesn't mean uprooting your life overnight, but it does mean being intentional about where you spend your time. Wealthy men aren't hiding, they're just not where you've been looking. Upgrade your environments. Attend events that attract the kind of man you want. Build a lifestyle that naturally intersects with his. You don't need to chase. You need to position. Final word, change the environment, change the outcome. Beauty is power, but only when it's positioned correctly. Most women don't need a makeover. They need mobility. They need access. They need the freedom to go where their beauty is seen, celebrated, and compensated. When a beautiful woman gets money, she doesn't just upgrade her wardrobe, she upgrades her entire life. And suddenly, the world's rejects aren't even in her line of sight. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about placing your authentic self in environments where you can be seen, valued, and chosen by the kind of man you actually want. You can't date a rich man if you're never in his orbit. So stop fantasizing from a distance and start showing up where the money, mindset, and opportunity already live. Because proximity isn't just about location, it's about access. And access changes everything. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of how proximity plays a pivotal role in shaping our love lives. If today's video got you thinking about how your environment affects your relationships, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments below, I'd love to hear your experiences and insights. Remember, whether it's love or life, positioning yourself in the right environments can make all the difference. Until next time, keep showing up where opportunity knocks, and as always, take care of yourselves. See you in the next video. What do you think? Is proximity affecting your love life? Let me know in the comments section. Stay bougie. Follow and support me. All links in bio. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check description for more info. New episodes every day.